that. They're all shooting back and forth.
No one can tell me where my son is. Even chocolate is dead. No one knows.
I was in Richmond, Virginia when I found out about the club, the Post night shooting, and a friend had called me and asked me had I seen on TV, had I seen the news about what had took place in Orlando. And I was like, no, I didn't see anything. And as I hung up the phone, then one of the people that I was with, their grandmother called and asked had they heard about the Orlando shooting. And at this time, I'm like, you know what, let me turn on the TV. And so when I turned on the TV, my heart just sunk into my stomach. Like, wow, I could not believe what I was seeing, and I could not believe what I was reading.
My role at Pulse, I was a DJ, the resident DJ for the past 2 years, but I had been working at Pulse for right at 4 years before the incident happened. Pulse was, to me, it was a safe haven, and to a lot of people, the same thing, it was a safe haven. It was a place where you can just come and enjoy, and you can meet friends and meet people and not have to worry about the outside world and what the hate goes on outside of that club. Inside of the club, it was so much love with everyone. It wasn't just a Latin night. Like, that's the thing, I think people get caught up because it was a Latin night, but it wasn't just a Latin night. You had a big hip hop community there. You had a big pop 40, top 40 community there. You had, a lot of straight people there. You had mothers that were there, grandmothers that were there. People just there to be comfortable and not have to worry about what would go on in a typical club of grabbing and all this stuff and everything. It's a place where you can come and have fun and enjoy the music. And that's really what it was about. Pulse was on any night of the week, you can always go and find good music. You wanted good music, you knew, let's go over to Pulse. You wanted good drink specials, let's go over to Pulse. Because you're gonna get good music, good drinks, and good fun.
So I lost one of my best friends, Shane Thomason. Shane was naturally, anybody that interacted with Shane knew that he was almost the life of the party. He could interact with anybody, but loyalty meant a lot to him. He had the ability to make you feel, whether you first met him for the first time, like you were the most important person in that room. He had that gift, but he also had a giving heart. He would give his last. He would bend and he would fold for folks, and he didn't need a stage for that. And that's the truth. A lot of people saw him because he saw a stage, but normally he was very much so low key, if you will. I'm cool with the few people that I have around me. He loved cooking, and I love eating, and so that was the best. But yeah, he was just a real low key fun. He loved God, and he made no mistakes about it.
Stanley, he was one of the young guys who actually was pushing people out of the way as bullets were flying. So he was saving people, correct? But he was one that he always came every Friday night just to see me DJ. And no matter what club I was DJing at, whether it was a Friday or wherever, he would always come, find his way to the DJ booth. And he'd be like, Reese, give me a hug, smile, let's laugh, let's take a picture. And he'd always like, you're the best DJ. He's like, don't nobody know this, but you're the best DJ in the city. And he always used to boost my head up and give me this big hug. He always had so much love, and he would never come into that club and not speak to me and talk to me. Any club we would be at, he would never not see me and not come speak to me. And he was probably one of the ones that I took the hardest to, because he's one that I always, even if we weren't at Pulse, I would see him out and we would make our way to each other and hug and laugh and talk and, just kind of be in each other's presence. And so Stanley really was the one that kind of took I hurt the most for. And of course, like Shane and KJ and so many other people. It's definitely a tough thing, but
in spite of the ache, I will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up. I like the waves, we'll rise up.
I think our random road trips, you know, so Shane and I it was one of those impulse things. He would have a gig maybe in Tampa, and I'd be like, okay, well, I'm gonna come down. I remember one gig he did in Tampa at Shepherd's Beach. After that, we ended up going out, to another nightclub that was there in Tampa, and we had the best time. It was just him and I. I think any other time might have been the times that he cooked for me because I didn't cook.
one thing to Stanley, that I love you, point blank, that I love you. And after that night, it made me tell people how I feel about them. It was definitely something I wish I would have told him that night when I saw him. And I just grabbed his hand, and before the whole thing happened, I just grabbed his hand and he looked at me and smiled. And that was the first night where we knew our presence was there. We just smiled and laughed and kept going. And I wish I would have been able to tell him that night, like give him a hug and that I loved him. Because that was something that I always did. I always gave him a hug and I always told him, like, I love you. And people take that so lightly, but I really truly did mean it. Like each time I saw him, I would tell him I loved him and, get home safe. And, I'll see you on Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever night it was. So definitely I would have told him that and gave him the biggest hug ever. That night I didn't think I would never see him again. I didn't know that would be my last night seeing him.
Shane and his family in Orlando. I mean, really, his friends were his family in Orlando. He had moved there. He taught me. He taught me how to be aware. He taught me how to not take life so seriously. He taught me how to taught me how to live in the moment. And that's what I did. And that's what I've been doing.
After visiting Pulse, it was really a awakening moment for me. I really didn't know what to think. It did make me more aware of my surroundings because this could have happened to anyone. This could have been anyone. I feel like it was really close to home because it could have been in DC, it could have been in New York, it could have been in Philly. So it really touched me. It touched me hearing some of the stories of the young girl who had just graduated high school, and she went back in to save her friends, and hearing about the mother who was at the club with her son, just enjoying the night with her son, supporting her son, and knowing that he would be somewhere safe. And then to hear the story about how she jumped in front of the gunman to save her son. And that story just really touched me, to know that a parent not only supported their son and who they were, but then to jump in front of a gunman inside of a club like Pulse to protect their son. That spoke volumes.
Working there for 4 years, almost 5 years, you get to know a lot of people. You may not know their names, but any time of the week, hey DJ, hey Reese, how you doing?
I've never really kind of felt a pain like this. And so part of it is that I'm living and enjoying and taking, day by day. And part of it is trying to, I have these, I guess, what would Shane say moments. And they come more frequent. So that's what how I'm doing to cope. And just really appreciating and accepting and receiving some of the love and the stories that so many people have about him. I think with his passing, I've encountered so many people with so many stories and interactions and how Shane really impacted him, and just kind of embraced that. Then I think that's how I've been able to kind of keep his memory alive. But, so I think it's day by day. I think it's a lot of times, it was hour by hour, minute by minute. And it's really understanding that, it's something that you would never forget. Again, literally, I don't know if I've ever felt this kind of pain, and I think we all grieve differently. My pain is completely different than perhaps maybe his mother, his father, or any other person that might have had interaction with him. But I
And I rise up, I rise like the day. I rise up, I rise unafraid. I rise.
It's a slow healing process. Even after almost a year now, we're coming up on 1 year, and people are still hurting, and the city is still hurting from it. And it's a process that we have to go through, unfortunately, in the media that we all are dealing with. And sometimes the major media outlets aren't as nice and heartfelt as the smaller media outlets. So they tend to kind of focus on more of the negative part of things, and not so more on the people who are still hurting and trying to heal from it. Because it's a lot of families, a lot of friends, a lot of relatives, a lot of everybody that's really trying to heal from this situation. And it's been such a tough time.
The brighter side is living and remembering those great moments, understanding that you don't forget, you won't forget, but eventually you start to learn to live with what is. And I think that's how I would cope, and that would be, what I would say to anybody else that's coping is, you don't forget, you just learn to live.